What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. If you guys are new to the channel, do me a favor and hit that sub button, hit that notification bell, make sure you're not missing any of the awesome content we have coming out. Now, with this issue, we're going to be diving into The Flash, issue number 776. And if you have not been keeping up with this series, go ahead, check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It will get you completely caught up on everything that is going on with The Flash. But what we have seen so far is the arrival of Eclipso, with him coming in and having some kind of ulterior motive, planning on making his attack in good time. We are seeing the team up of Dr. Fate and The Flash. And so with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright gang, so as we dive into this issue, Dr. Fate has brought us into a two-dimensional causeway, letting Wally West know that if they act quickly, that they may be able to get to their destination before Eclipso can make his move. But the journey is dangerous even now. He can feel all of the two-dimensional creatures getting ready to make their attack on them. And he says that it is going to be up to you to guide them out. But when he says you, he is not talking about Wally West. He is not talking about himself. He is talking about you, the reader, saying that their fate now lies in our hands. And what we have is Dr. Fate breaking the fourth wall. And you guys know how I feel about fourth wall breaking. I'm not the biggest fan of it. We're going to talk more about that as we get to the end of this comic though, because this is going to be fourth wall breaking like a mofo. Now, of course, Wally West, he's like, what are you talking about? Have you finally just lost your mind? Has that helmet rotted your brain away? What are you talking about? Readers, books, comics? Like, what is going on here? Now, Dr. Fate, he puts his hand over Wally's eyes and he says, unveil. And with the unveiling, he can now see us. He can see the comic book reader. He is also able to now break the fourth wall, at least temporarily while he is with Dr. Fate. And as he sees us, Wally West freaks out, saying that he doesn't know who that is. None of this makes sense. How are they even watching us right now? Now, Dr. Fate tells them that he doesn't have time to explain, that the demons of this realm have found them and they have to get out of here as fast as possible, with the demons, these devilish creatures, coming from all directions. Now, it doesn't look like our heroes are going to be able to make it out of this one alive, and that is because both of their powers are almost completely diminished being in this two-dimensional realm. And as they sit here having all of these demons drag them down, Wally West asks if the reader could do something, if they could help us out. And so Dr. Fate, he turns to us, to the reader, and he asks us to make changes to this world. That we can do it, we simply have to believe. Now, at first, this doesn't work, because for us, it is just a book. There's no way we could believe that it could work. How could we possibly affect the outcome? Saying that magic is a strange thing, it simply takes intention and belief. And so when he gives the command, we have to believe that it will work for the magic to activate. Doing it before we turn the page, and all will be well. And with that, he asks us to turn the page counterclockwise. And with us turning the page counterclockwise, we see all of these things start to fall down. All of these devils, all of these demons, they start falling to the bottom of this cave. And that is because we just altered the entire world for them. And so we see them climb up through the doorways, making their way through this two-dimensional causeway. They come into a great hall. This hall being lined with what appears to be fighters, warriors from all over. And at first they don't move. That is until they walk into the room. As Wally West and Dr. Fate are walking in, they snap to. They look over at them and all of them start attacking. Dr. Fate, turning to the readers, he asks all of us to blow as hard as we can on the pages. In doing this, it will snuff out all of the torches. And with the torches all going out, it goes completely dark. And in the darkness, all of our warriors end up fighting each other because they cannot see, giving Dr. Fate and Wally West the opportunity to escape. Now, as they make their way through all of this cave system, they find themselves at an impasse. They find themselves at an area where there is a doorway on the other side, but there is no bridge. There is just a giant trench dividing them. And so Wally West, he asks us to turn the page counterclockwise. In doing so, this will shift their world and make them fall through that doorway. And as they go falling down, they land in a lake. And as they are sitting here in this water, Wally West says something is touching his leg. Not sure what this is, we see Dr. Fate go underwater. And in a panic, Wally West, he asks us to turn the pages upside down. In doing so, up becomes down and down becomes up. As Wally West, Monster Slayer, goes after this monster trying to kill Dr. Fate, they ask us to turn the pages right side up again. And with all of the water pouring out of this room into the doorway they came through, what is being revealed is this giant monster that has been hiding underneath this lake. But they were able to grab what they came for. This book, whatever it is, whatever it contains, is everything that Dr. Fate needs to get to where he is going. But to activate this book and create the doorway, they must know the order of the glyphs that we have seen throughout this comic book. And so what Dr. Fate asks us to do is go back through the comic, find which glyphs came first, and then press them in the order that they came. This will open up the doorway for them. And so with Dr. Fate completely entangled in tentacles, with Wally West about to be killed, we have to go back through the book, find the glyphs, and press them in the order. And with a blinding light, the doorway opens up. It takes them to what appears to be Gem World. But as they arrive, and we see Justice League Dark, they have told Dr. Fate that he is too late, that Eclipso has already come through here. Eclipso has already won. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. You know, like I've said a thousand times before, I hate fourth wall breaking. I just think it's one of the weirdest, worst ways to write a comic book. I don't want to be involved in the comic book. When I'm reading a comic, don't involve me. Have your heroes, have your characters figure out what to do next. Don't have me flip my phone as if that's actually doing something. Now, I am a 31-year-old man, so that could be very well why I am not a fan of fourth wall breaking, let alone having us interactive in the comic book. Now, with that being said, my children would probably eat this stuff up. They would probably absolutely love this comic. Because it is interactive, it gets them involved, it makes them feel like they're part of this, doing something with this. And so you can't fault them when it comes to that aspect of this comic. It definitely is a great direction to go with it when you're orienting this towards children. And let's be honest, the Flash line isn't really that mature of a line, so we can definitely see more kids reading this than, say, Justice League Dark or something of that nature. So for the target audience, I think it is definitely a great avenue to go down. I think it's a great comic. It definitely gets kids, you know, maybe preteens really involved into the comics. It just was not for me. You know, I love the Flash. He is my #1 DC character. Of course, I will continue this line on until the day I die. But I just am not a fan of this issue. But I am excited to see what comes next, because we are going to see the involvement of Justice League Dark. But yeah, let me know what you guys think down in the comments. If you have not yet, do me a favor, hit that sub button, hit that notification bell, make sure you're not missing any of the awesome content we have coming out. And until the next breakdown,